It's currently 6:26:19, 20:06 hundred hours or 20:06, and watching once again another Israel United in Christ video. Sadly, in North Philly on Broad Street, we had another. I see it is like I said. I'm about to start going out there, and I'm not associated with them, but because they follow the Torah, they my brethren. So if y'all got a problem with them, like what's up? Like they at the beginning of the video boiled through like a one of those construction things or whatever at them, and talking about what I don't care about no cameras. That's one of the moments I wish I was there. Like I'm your Huckleberry. Like, what's up? I'm not with them. They're my brethren because they follow the Torah. But what's up? But whatever. But then during their sermon, or not sermon, during the teaching, they it was once again another North Philly residents walking past talking about they snitching, some they gonna go to jail. They don't get you to go to jail. And the boy pointed out, I forgot. See, hold up, time out. Yeah, he read Leviticus 5:1. Those who hear of an evil or know of an evil or witness to an evil and does not speak of it shares the guilt. And also he read Exodus 22 verse 2. I might have to go through there. It could be 23. I couldn't really hear it. He kind of mumbled. But it said, do not follow a multitude to do evil. So that goes back to my man Don Cornelius. I mean, not Cornelius. It could have been this channel I'm about to make it for. Dark Side of Candor. Don't say nothing, and then part 2, don't say nothing ever. When I was describing how people complain about the government doing what you do in the hood, the same thing you do in the hood is what the government does. And then the boy walked past about these niggas snitching. You're like, well, according to the Bible, and as I was reasoning with myself yesterday, it's funny how a lot of these dudes go to prison and come out Akis or Muslims and Christians, but then as soon as they leave the prison, they go back to their ways. They're the ones I was pointing out are only following the faith as a crutch. As somebody told me when we were younger, is that his brethren told him that he's only a Christian because it helps him deal with everyday life. So that means, as the Republic says about philosophers, the imposter philosophers, that they don't really care about the learning, the teachings of the scriptures. They just using it as comfort food, therefore making those the next generation or those in their generation to stray from it. But even though those who stray from it, if they knew what they were talking about, like I said, it says later on in the New Testament to test every soul. So it don't matter if a gazillion people claim the Bible, the Quran, or whatever, the Bhagavad Gita, teachings of the Buddha, the Vedas, whatever. It don't matter about what they do. You have to go and read it for yourself. That's them being false. That's not the teachings being false and teaching them to be wicked. That's them being frauds and coming into it for comfort and not knowing what they claiming. But let's skip all of that. So you're in the hood and you're complaining about your situation. And a couple of videos, I think like last year, they said when they first started going, when they was kind of fresh, I guess. Well, to me it was fresh, them being on North Philly on Broad Street. The boy came out there and asked, do y'all got shelters for us? Do y'all got this for us? So they out there complaining about their living conditions. So he's like, well, that was my argument. No, because y'all wouldn't be allowed to come in there anyway because you don't follow the Torah. Y'all will turn that shit into whorehouses and crack houses. But to skip all of that or to block that part, keep going on with the mission. As I was saying, so you're actually in the hood in the suffering conditions, and you're suffering, and you're talking about no snitching. So how the fudge do you expect your community to get better if you don't? And then all right, tough gangster, tough goonie. Here's a righteous and non-snitching formula for you. As you read, as I said, Deuteronomy 1 through 15. When Moses told see exactly, since you like to jail up people of your own accord that are like you, as Moses did. He told the people to choose from among each tribe, choose from among your own brethren who are wise, overstanding, and righteous. Now keep in mind that you're choosing these people to be the judges over you. So Benjamin ruled over Benjamin. Yahudah ruled over Yahudah. So everybody in their own house chose people from their house to govern their own house. Like they didn't govern each other's houses. So you couldn't even say, oh, why do Yahudah get to rule over Benjamin? No, they pick people to say how you are today. They pick people whom you love from your own kin to make righteous judge. That's why he said, make sure that first of all, they have overstanding and wisdom. Make sure they're not able to be bought, and make sure they're righteous, because they are going to rule over you and be your judges. And now, when they were selected, he said, remember, they're going to rule over hundreds, tens, or thousands, tens, or hundreds, whatever the order, thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones, whatever. And if any matter is too big, come to me, Moses. But he was like, exactly, Moses was doing all of this by himself. Y'all niggas is drawing. All right. So see, exactly, same way they are today. Well, since you have a problem with how we're doing it, since you're calling us snitch bitches, all that, okay, no problem. You, with 12 of them, 10 more times. You are now in charge of your own individual houses. Any matter that is of the low levels, you will now judge among your brethren and give a righteous judgment. Now when you ever have a complaint about how things are being handled, remember, first of all, they're from your house. Secondly, you chose them. So fast forward to the day. Okay, hood motherfudgers. Since I ain't hood, I'm suburban, but not really suburban, because I've been around hood motherfuckers my whole life. But whatever, I wouldn't be a part of that class. I would be the Moses in this sense. All right, niggas, here, pick your own people. So now, people in the hood, since you want your neighborhood to get better, but see, this is what they don't understand about being a judge. You have, first of all, as Moses said, do not fear them when you pass judgment. No matter if they're your friend, do not be fearful to pass judgment on your friend. If there's somebody who's a strong, don't be fearful to pass judgment if they're strong, because judgment comes from the source, the balancer of the multiverse. So if you go against the multiverse, you're already good as dead anyway. So pick out among your brethren. Like I said, I came up with the perfect formula how you don't snitch. Go around the neighborhood. Start putting people, as Dr. Umar said, start putting people on notice. Like, this is the organized brethren who are righteous and who are willing to get their hands dirty. If we're now starting a new era in this neighborhood, in this whole quadrant of this city, and hopefully we link up with other brethren in other quadrants, and we can make the city righteous again. But you are no longer like I said, people claim to be like how they always claiming the mob ways and all that shit. Well, the mob is known for sitting down and talking before to hopefully squash any beef, as the very thing I was saying about my brethren. So I was actually more true to the way of the mob than these false motherfuckers. I was attempting, before I didn't even know what it was, but the spirit sent me with the gloves, like, yo, we might as well start getting this boxing joint in to see where we at. I didn't even know dudes was beefing to the point where somebody was about to get shot. It actually did, but exactly. Sit down. Establish ground rules. Yo, there will be no killing, no more drug dealing, no more prostitution, no more none of this. I ain't saying become a legal, organized crime. No, that's not where I'm going. I'm talking about Torah righteousness. There will be no more drug dealing, No more raping, no more killing, no more drug using, no more this, no more that. Nah, nah, nah. If anybody is found guilty, we are not going to snitch. Depending on the crime, especially if you kill somebody, you may be beaten we're going to paralyze you. So we're going to start reading these books on the anatomy, and we're going to figure out what disc in your spine controls your legs, and we're going to somehow cut them shits and make you paralyzed. Depending on how bad it is, we may make you into a Christopher Reeves. And on top of that, we're going to burn down your parents' home, and your whole family will be evicted from the neighborhood and the surrounding neighborhoods around. Since you don't want to snitch, here's a righteous, non-snitching, but yet courage-filled activity for those who complain about the Israelites snitching. And I get exactly. Now that's really hard. That's how I felt with President Obama when he said that I need the people to keep fighting. Your heart just dropped now. Oh God, I gotta get out there and get my hands dirty. I gotta go against my brethren that I grew up with and potentially whip his ass and not kill him. Or at least, like I said, if you don't want to kill him, then you may have to, as you say, turn them over to the authorities. At the very minimum, evict them from their houses so they can't stay there. So since you always want to talk that gangster, call of the streets BS, but yet you want your neighborhood to change, put it on the scales. Now your future of your children and your neighborhood, especially in Philly, as they're gentrifying the shit out of Philadelphia and kicking you out and getting your houses for low prices and rebooting them shits. This is the time in history where you better make sure you on the right side of the fucking of history, of the tracks or whatever. Dark side of candor. No snitching. I like that idea. My new view is better than no snitching, because I have make sure that you will get the righteous judgment, and I ain't gonna worry about the Babylonians putting you in jail for long extended years or whatever. I know now that whatever is chosen is righteous and just according to the crime. And you ain't got to worry about no more police brutality, because you'll be barring them, as the mayor in New York City said. Well, if you got a problem with our cops coming through and pushing your head in, then you govern yourselves. And all those black, Latino, whatever minorities in New York, shut right the fuck up. Now it's your turn to do what the Bible says, as with 2/3 of America is Quranic followers, especially all you in prison Muslims. The Quran, and I say my brethren, either Don Cornelius or Level Creator, whatever. Surah, my notes, I believe is Surah 2. Myriads of verses in Surah 2 points to the Torah. I can remember one where it says, "Why do you speak of Abraham and when the Torah wasn't revealed till after him? We will teach Yahushua with Christ the teachings of the Gospels and the Torah. Why do you pass judgment when judgment comes from the Torah?" This is the Quran. Dark side of candor.